Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, MAC members. Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. My name is Kawin Sokpo, and I am the CEO of the Midlands African Chamber. And today I'll be your host for Power Hour. Uh, our our host, Shay Ololafe, cannot be with us today, so I am filling in for Shay for Power Hour today. Welcome to Power Hour. Now, we always start with some announcements. We first thank our sponsor for today's event, Wells Fargo, for enabling and supporting Black excellence in our state. And we thank all of you for joining us to be part of Power Hour today. Our guest for today is going to be Miss Nezzie Hardges with the elevator. Now, before I bring Nezzie on, I want to share with you some different events that we have going on at the chamber. Hi, Blandine. Thank you for joining in. So today already from 7 to 8, there is the Nebraska Immigration Talent Network happening. You should check it out after this. And if you're looking for a job, that's the place to be. And Jean-Marie will be there from the MAC. Please make sure to stop by and say hi. On Saturday from 11 to 1 p.m., we will be at the 20 under 20 event, which is a celebration of excellence in our youth in this state, a presentation of the block in collaboration with MAC. And this will be at Yates Illuminates at 3260 Davenport Street in Omaha from 11 to 1. On September 27 at 3 p.m., you should join us for the grand opening and ribbon cutting of our member, Quality Care Preference LLC here in Omaha. The event is on Facebook. On September 27 at 6 p.m., we'll have our Umoja Unity Forum series in partnership with TAME right here at 6. September 30th is a big day to remember. The MAC Foundation scholarships applications end. So remember, it was supposed to be on the 18th, but we extended it a little bit to give everybody a chance to apply. So apply before September 30th. Also, that day, the Max Accelerator program applications will end. So go ahead and send your applications in so you can be part of the Mac Accelerator and get access to mentoring, access to business information, and also if you complete the program, you get $1,000, and you walk away having a business plan and a pitch deck. So that's a win-win situation for all small business owners out there. Now, on October 11 at 5, we are going to have our roll call networking event with Nebraska Tech Collaborative at Modus Co-working, 5 p.m. And then on November 11, get your dance shoes and your dance moves ready for the Gratitude Gala at MCC at the North Omaha campus, 4th Street campus. And get there at 6 and get ready to party with us and recognize MAC members and community members that have demonstrated Black excellence throughout the year and that have helped encourage others to be involved in business and promoted inclusion in business. November 16, 5 to 7 will be our MAC annual meeting. It will be at Bellevue University. More details to come later. And then to close out the year for us, December 8th, there will be our holiday party, which we will have together with the Urban League Young Professionals. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for allowing me to go over all these announcements. And now I am going to introduce our speaker of the day, the fabulous Nezzie Hardges.
Hello.
Hi, Nezzie. It is such a pleasure to have you with us. Nezzie is the community director of the Elevator, a co-work housing company here in Omaha that provides small businesses and e-commerce entrepreneurs with ideal warehouse space, flexible monthly terms, and a supportive community for business growth. With an Air Force leadership background, she's passionate about customer experiences, business connections, and community involvement. During this Power Hour today, Nezzie will discuss how the elevator is helping small businesses in our community thrive through their services. Welcome, Nezzie.
Hello, I am so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me on back. Um, I'm honored.
Likewise, you're such an interesting and individual, and I'm just so happy to be in your presence whenever the occasion rises. Um, we had the pleasure of being at the elevator and sharing space during our um, Ubuntu mixer back in July or June or July
Okay.
earlier this year, and that's where we had the graduation ceremony for our Pitch Black finalists then.
Yes, it's always a pleasure to meet you. Ever since I met you at Modus at one of their, well, actually, it was what they're called Scale Omaha now. But when they were there and you came in and we were like, hey, girl, you've always been a beam of light too every time we connect. So I'm excited that I get to have you with me today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you so much for being part of Power Hour,
Absolutely.
which is our business development program through the MAC. We have all these business owners that are listening. Hello, Miss Glenda. Hello, Blandine. Please feel free to join us. This is being broadcast live, and Nezzie is here to share her wisdom and information with all of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm ready when you're ready to go. As Korean, so sweet to say, I'm Nezzie Hardges. I am the community director here at Elevator Co-Housing Plus Community. We have our doors have been open. It will be a year on October 1st. So we will consider ourselves a startup here in the Omaha community. And I'm excited to share a lot more about what we do, how we're helping the ecosystem in Omaha, specifically e-commerce entrepreneurs and businesses here in the area. So I guess I'll get started. So I'll share a little bit more about myself, my road to becoming Elevator's community director. Just I guess to kind of establish my stats. I'm a Southern Belle. I am an implant here in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm originally from the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, born and raised. And I left Mississippi back in 2010 to join the United States Air Force, where I served about 6 years of time. I was able to travel the world, meet a lot of amazing people that I'm still connected with till this day. And hopefully, some of my mentors, military mentors, were able to jump on this live to kind of connect with me and see what I have going on because hope you make you guys proud. And then after leaving the Air Force, I moved out to Tampa, Florida, and where I started my civilian life. And I kind of jumped into working with Sprint, where I spent about 4 years, maybe a little over 4 years. And I was a store manager and also a regional trainer as well. Um, Sprint was then merging into T-Mobile. So during that time, there was a lot of transitions happening. My store happened to be one of the top ranking stores nationally, and I caught a lot of recognition from that. And that opportunity landed me here in Omaha, Nebraska somehow. And but when I moved here from Tampa to Omaha, a lot of switching happened. I started to kind of realize what I wanted to do in life. There was a lot of amazing opportunities here in Omaha, Nebraska, and I felt like seeing those opportunities and then the resources that I was connected to allowed me to do a career switch. So then I went to the Nebraska Tech Collaborative as a part of the Aksarben Foundation, and there I was the partnership coordinator. So in my role there is kind of how I started, planting my feet in the Omaha community, and getting connected with businesses, whether they are entrepreneurs, they are CEOs of corporate organizations, specifically working on tech workforce. So if they were CIOs, we worked on tech. the tech workforce across the state of Nebraska. During my time there, I was actually going out to speak to Shannon and Emiliano, who are co-founders here at Elevator. And while I was meeting them and I got to know them and finding if it was a good fit for them to partner with the NTC, and trying to connect them to resources as they were looking to establish Elevator in its beginning phases, they were also kind of recruiting me too. So that's how I eventually ended up here at Elevator. But as a community director, and just as a person, as a human, before I wear any titles or hats, my superpower is I'm really great at making other people look good. I'm really great at supporting other businesses. I'm really great at building communities, and connecting people to resources. If you would ask me if I could describe myself as one thing, it would be I believe I'm a resource to businesses, to individuals, to anyone who is trying to get connected to something to help them grow and develop. I believe that is what my superpower is. So that's just a little bit about me. This picture here to the left, before I wear anything career-wise, I am an aunt and a godmother first. So in the pink is my niece, and on the other side with her shirt on is my goddaughter. And so in my free time, that is my job. That's what I do. That's what I love, is hanging out with my niece and my goddaughter, and I also have a dog as well that, keeps me busy along the way. So that's just a little personal thing about me too. So I guess I'll dive in now to Elevator Co-warehousing community. Like, where did it start? What's the story? So back in 2018, Shannon Alerta, who is our president and co-founder here at Elevator, had an e-commerce business that she started online, selling pet supplies on Amazon. She was running her business completely out of her home. And she got to a point when the pandemic hit that she needed to find a way to grow. When the pandemic hit, Amazon shut down all of their sales except for the 5 categories of essential items. Pet supplies happened to land in one of those buckets. So as you see in these pictures here, business was booming, and it was also consuming the majority of her home, where she has 2 amazing boys and her husband, maneuvering around boxes, taking up bedroom spaces in their garage space, and they're like, this can't continue. So she was filling boxes inside of the house. All of her orders were coming. They were being shipped to her house. She was sending boxes to Amazon from her home. I guess she would tell you her neighbors were probably a little irritated with her. She was isolated. She was running her business completely by herself. She was home by herself. She could go weeks without seeing anyone except for her husband and her children. She really didn't have a separation between her work and then home. So it all collided together. And that was something that she was desiring to separate. And then it was a huge barrier to scaling, because depending on the square footage of your house and the more your business is growing, especially when you're a distributor on Amazon, such as a platform as Amazon, it's inside of your house is not a scalable way to start your e-commerce business. So we got to get out of that. So those were some of the challenges that she ran into as she was running this business. So then she went out looking for spaces. She went looking for warehouse spaces, and she couldn't find anything that wouldn't tie her into a 3 to 6 month lease or a 36-month lease. And if they did tie her into that lease, she wouldn't be able to flex. She would be stuck with that one space, regardless if her business grew or if her business, if she needed to downscale a little bit, she would be stuck with that space for 36 months. So there was no flexibility for her. She would still need to be there to receive shipping. She would still be isolated. She would still be in a predicament where she's going to have to decide, what am I going to do with my business? Is it going to grow? Is it going to scale? What is the predictability of that? So she went to a co-working place here in town, and she realized too that wasn't going to be a viable option. So she went home to her husband one night and said, hey, I like the idea of co-working. There's a community there. I would be around a lot of people, but what I need is co-warehousing. And so she and her husband, Emiliano Lerda, put their heads together, and then the idea of Elevator came about. So but as they started looking more into this idea of co-warehousing, which is a fairly new idea. Just a year prior to them thinking of this, there was only one competitor. One of our competitors had just came up with the idea prior. So as they started to kind of look at Omaha, and then just the industry overall with co-warehousing, they started to find that over 50% of U.S. small businesses are mostly operating out of their garage, out of their homes, and it's not providing them the things that they need to run their business efficiently. So, and then they will also be isolated, so they're not connected to like-minded individuals to help them grow and develop and kind of think about the same, and they are doing the same things that they are doing to gain more insight and get connected to more resources. So I guess stage two, that's the idea. That's where we come in. Elevator co-warehousing is here to solve those particular issues, getting small businesses out of their house into a flexible warehouse space where they can grow their business. If they find that their business needs are, they need to downgrade scale just a little bit, we provide the flexibility for you to determine where you're going to be in your business. And then also not too expensive. You don't want your biggest bill as you are looking to grow and scale to be your place of business. So being able to fit your needs exactly to your needs, and not giving you so much that giving you operations or things that are not necessarily needed for your business. So it's just right for what your operations are as a small business. You don't have to worry about long-term leases, and you have the flexibility to upgrade or downscale depending on your business needs. So our solution. So once they came up with this idea, they assembled. We got a building. We got our investors, our first round of investors, and we got this amazing, beautiful building, historic building in downtown Omaha, the old O'Keefe Elevator building. Shannon and Emiliano assembled a team, and they started out with themselves, a husband and wife duo, and Levi, our VP of operations. And those three together put together the rest of the team, which is myself, our marketing manager, Josh Peterson, and Miles, our sales manager. And we all six basically are the sole foundation of building this vision, this dream that Shannon and Emiliano had, which is Elevator. And what we are here to do specifically for e-commerce entrepreneurs in Omaha is we are fostering economic prosperity for small business owners and community. Our niche is elevating small businesses through flexibility and community. And then who is our customer, our base target? Our base target is small businesses and e-commerce entrepreneurs with physical goods within 30 minutes of Elevator, which is our location, and value community, flexibility, and growing their business. So some things that we offer in Elevator to address the kind of the challenges that we see that small businesses have are, we have ready to occupy warehouse suites. We have 75 warehouses and 17 offices across 56,000 square feet of space. In addition to the warehouses and offices, we also have 3 meeting room spaces, including a stadium-style training room, a conference room, and a photo studio for product photography. Our warehouses and offices range from 81 square feet all the way up to 1,300 square feet, and our pricing range between $350 to I believe $2,900. But you have the option to go month to month, and that is the flexibility that we provide so that you can make decisions about your business on a month-to-month basis. We also provide on-demand labor. This is important to us because we understand that a lot of small businesses are not in a space where they are looking to hire someone full-time. Maybe there's times and opportunities that are available where they just need a hand for about 15 minutes to 30 minutes to do fulfillment, or just kind of like getting things organized in their space. So instead of having to go and add someone to their payroll, they can hire one of our team members to help them with anything that they need inside of their warehouse. So some of the examples of how we do that here is we have a member who lives a little bit further away from the building. And when she needs an order fulfilled, she has trained us and shown us what her process is. And then we are able to go into her warehouse. She sends us an email. Hey, I have an order that needs to be fulfilled. Can someone go box that up for me and get it shipped out? We go into her unit. We go through her process for fulfillment, and then we get that package shipped out for her without her ever having to come to this building. So that is something that is a huge value to our members. Flex storage, we provide flex storage space for those who may get an overage of inventory that may not fit in their unit. And so they just need a temporary space to store their items until they either get fulfillment out or they make more room to go ahead and arrange those packages inside of their space. Our offices come furnished, and they have a lot of equipment around the building that helps them maneuver their inventory from one place to another. Co-working is an added to the space. Our base of our business model is warehouse. But when we got this building, it came with these 17 offices. So we added co-working just to be an added value. And the idea of co-working at Elevator is not just a place where you come and work, but if you have an idea and you're looking to get connected to additional resources, our co-working is structured in such a way that will connect you to other businesses in this building, because we're not just e-commerce businesses, but there are also businesses here that provides a service that can help you in certain areas of your business that maybe you need help in growing and scaling. But we also offer different types of programming that you get off that comes included in your membership that you probably wouldn't get if you wasn't a member here at Elevator. So we do a lot of one-on-ones with our members, and specifically those who are in co-working. Our community is very collaborative. Everyone here is so helpful. I do a lot of program coordinating and getting, people who are the experts inside of the space to connect with these entrepreneurs. However, the community that's inside of the building itself, they foster themselves. They grow with each other. They partner. They, hey, what do you need help with? They're very helpful with each other. So one thing that I can say I appreciate the most in the community that we've built here at Elevator is that they are very helpful and they want to collaborate. And then everyone, you're around like-minded individuals. You're around individuals who are doing the same thing as you, if not selling the same product. They're maybe having the same challenges, or maybe they've mastered something that you're trying to master. There's no competition here, which we appreciate, and everyone's helpful is always wanting to share information. And that is exactly the community that we are fostering inside of the space. Is you're around like-minded individuals that you can share ideas with and build partnerships. Mentoring, we connect our members to community experts, to mentors. Our co-founders are absolutely amazing. They offer themselves up to the entrepreneurs in this space. Shannon, more specifically, as in previous e-commerce business, she has a plethora of knowledge, and we're all pretty much really fulfilled, but we do our best to make sure that every entrepreneur in the space is connected to someone or something that can help them grow. And then programming, we are not the experts of everything. So it's my job to go out into the community, partner with organizations who are the experts, who have the expertise, or who has additional resources. So if you feel like you are any of those people, please feel free to connect with me. I'm always open to speak, and I'm always open to talk. Our community partners who help us with programming, I give them full control. I just kind of like oversee the programming initiatives. However, they do an amazing job, and I'll speak more about some of the programming that we do here at Elevator. And here they are, our resources. So the last Thursday of each month, which I believe every fourth Thursday, we have our lunch and learn with Marigold 111. So Marigold 111 is one of our partners, and they provide 5 hours of free consultation to our members who are looking to get their business online. So their expertise is e-commerce websites. So they build your site. They connect you they show you how to build up your metrics, how to keep up your metrics, along with the build out of your website. And if you decide at the end that you want to just say, I don't want to deal with this, you guys take care of it. They provide our members that option, or they will just empower our members to say, hey, we've helped you build this website. Here are things that you should look more into, but you can manage it moving forward. So they're excellent there. E-commerce and friends. One of Shannon's biggest passions when she started Elevator was bringing the community together. It was about being around people who are like-minded. So she started e-commerce and friends meetup. We had to pause it for some time as we were building out Elevator, but we've recently kicked it back up. It has been amazing. The amount of entrepreneurs and the amount of people that have been able to attend this event. We bring e-commerce experts to these events. Our most recent was Paul Jarrett of Bulu Box, who is a really great 3PL business here in Nebraska out of Lincoln. And he was absolutely amazing and gave a plethora of just knowledge through his e-commerce experience. Elevator Essentials is a program that is near and dear to my heart because it focuses on those things that some entrepreneurs may tend to miss from time to time, like legal, customer acquisition, your sales. How do we those foundational pieces that keep your business going? Right now, we are in our legal series with McGrath North. So really honing in on how to protect your business in 5 areas of focus. So we are running that particular program through October and November. So stay tuned for more dates on that. But the next one we will be announcing on New Year's. And it could be anything from sales, customer acquisition, or even fundraising. The different revenues that you can go when you're trying to fundraise for your business. And then this next Saturday, another way that we connect our businesses here at Elevator is we're hosting a market, our very first market, where we have invited outside small businesses to come in and sell their physical goods and their products, while also our members have the opportunity to kind of come outside of their warehouse and invite their customers to their place of business, so they don't even have to leave their space, but they can pop up at their own business instead of just working out of this building. It just goes to show like the flexibility and so many different options and opportunities that Elevator provides to e-commerce businesses. So our competitive landscape and our speed to market. So right now, as I mentioned, we have only been open, it'll be a year on October 1st. And we are moving really fast. We are currently at about 90% occupancy. So if you ask other people how we've been doing, they've been saying we're doing amazing. But for us, we're like, we want 100%. We want 100% in 1 year, and we're close. So this is going to be a fun month of bringing in new members, and we're excited about it. However, we do have competitors. We have Saltbox, who kind of were the first to kind of come out with this idea and really grow it. When we talk about co-warehousing, Ready Spaces is another in Cube Work. However, where we differ from our competitors is in our hospitality. It's in our flexibility and it's in our hospitality. And we're huge on creating an environment. We call it good vibes only, but it's important to us because we feel like making sure that our entrepreneurs that are occupying this space, you should only be focusing on your business. It is up to us, the team here, to make sure that we provide you everything that you need for your operations. We're involved with you, with your business. And then also we are connecting you to resources, something that our competitors are not necessarily doing with their businesses. So what's our plan? We plan to be in 101 locations in 10 years. We're pretty ambitious. We're pretty ambitious, but we plan to be in 101 locations in the next 10 years. And we're already looking ahead at our next couple of locations. And hopefully we'll be able to make announcements maybe at the top of next year. Some things that our founders say just from their entrepreneurial experience is find and embrace your superpower. As I even added to the beginning of this presentation, your superpower has to be your driver. Your superpower is your purpose. It is the talent that is innately in you, and it won't let you go. No matter how much you try to suppress it, no matter how much you try to set it aside, it will always show up in some way, shape, form, or way. So embrace it. Find avenues and ways that you can implement your superpower where it can grow, where it can flourish in a positive light. So do that. Surround yourself with the right people. We, as a team, we read together, we read books together. One of the books that has really brought us together culturally is Good to Great. And it talks about getting the right people on your bus. And if you don't have the right people on your bus, you won't grow. So I know a lot of challenges that most entrepreneurs have is like figuring out who is the right business partner, who are the right people that we're going to put in charge so that when we're away, we know that our business is safe. Ensuring that the right, I can't express this, but I don't want to go on a preaching sermon or nothing, but the people are important. So make wise decisions. And then follow your heart and your instincts. It may sound cliche, but if you feel intently that you have an idea that could change not just your world, but everyone's world, or that are doing the same thing that you're doing, but you maximize on top of that, follow it. Follow it. Your heart, your instincts is never going to lead you in the wrong direction. And sometimes that entails making hard decisions. However, your heart and your instincts as it relates to your business will always lead you to the right place. So listen to that. Embrace your superpower, find the right people, and follow your heart and instincts. And I believe that's all I got. Thank you. Questions and answers. I got answers.
Thank you, Nezzie. This was such an informative presentation. I truly enjoy um, watching and listening to your presentation. I do have a few questions. Let's start with what you just said about following your guts. I feel like, um, whether it's in business, whether it's even in general, your gut, your gut instinct is usually pretty accurate. You
Yes.
know, even if it's just assessing somebody's character, if something seems off, the first time you meet them, 90% of the time something is off and will
Absolutely.
continue to be off.
Your business is your baby,
Mhm.
your business is your baby, but along with just your business, before you have a business, you have a name, and you have to protect that. And you have to make sure that you trust the right people with your name, and you trust the right people with your business. Your business is also your child. So think about how you would feel if you put your child in the wrong hands of anyone. Um, it wouldn't be great feeling if things were to fall apart. So in that, I'm so thankful that Shannon and Emiliano saw me as that right fit for being responsible for an entire location here in Omaha. And then also as we grow, I'll be in charge of more locations. So it's important to make sure you have the right people.
That's right. And when that lead also into when you finally get your business to where you are ready to hire,
Yep.
you know, so as you manage the community at Elevator, what are some of the things you look for and who you add to the team?
So we hire very uniquely. We are very, our values are important to us. Our values are some of the things that we hold each other accountable to. And we even say, hey, you're not showing world class hospitality right now. And world class hospitality doesn't just go towards the members in the community in here in the building, but it's also hospitality towards each other, the team on the staff. So our values are world class hospitality, steadfast positivity, disciplined excellence, focused on results, and always growing. And so when we're hiring, the questions that we ask any potential candidate or new hire is are questions that are based on those five values. And if we don't feel that you are aligned with those values, you won't be a part of the team. We're very transparent on where we are. We always say that we are building and flying a plane at the same time. We're very honest about that. We're a startup here, and that's where most startups will be. And so there are going to be a lot of times where you're going to be challenged. You're going to be doing things that you've never done before. There are going to be instances where it's customer facing and we're dealing with entrepreneurs, and everyone knows how entrepreneurs are, right? I
Mhm.
want this and I need it now.
Absolutely.
So you just have to have the right attitude and in order to be a part of this. And we are a very tight knit team. So we protect each other as well, regardless of what we go through internally or externally. We value just the people each ourselves. We value each other. So that's important as well. So that's some of the things that we look for in hiring.
How does a close knit team and a cohesive spirit on a team help promote the growth of a business?
Um, if you have customers or you have investors that are looking to, if you have investors, I'll start with investors. If you have investors that are looking to invest in your company, I guarantee you one of the first things they're going to look at is the team that you built. And you have to have confidence in the people that you put on your team, because you know that they're also going to show up too when it's time, when it's game time, when it's time to raise money. Your investors not only just have to trust you, but they have to trust the people that are on your team. And our investors know every single person on our team. And I would guess they would say they approved of us all. But if you were to put someone on your team in front of your customers, would you be okay with that? You know?
And that
So
should be a question
yeah,
at the first interview, for the employer to ask themselves. And if the answer is no, or I'm not sure, that should be a pass.
absolutely. So
We have
our hiring process, we do three phases. We do a phone interview. However, we then bring you in and we treat our candidates the way we would treat a new potential member coming in. We give them the utmost hospitality. We show them exactly what we're looking for in the role that we're hiring for, so they can see and understand that you're taking this role, but everybody knows your role, you know?
mhm.
Um, and then that we check this a personality thing. We question you based on our values. And then if we decide you move forward, you meet with our co-founders and they're gonna do a culture check. It's
Yeah.
all about the person. We can teach you anything. We can teach you the role, we can teach you the job, but who are you? We can't teach personality. We can't teach um
Work ethic.
manners, we can't teach that. So those are some of the things that we're more focused on when we look into hiring. Mhm.
Thank you. We have an awesome question from our audience. Didi Blandine, what do you offer to someone who has an idea to sell a certain product online but really has no clue where to start? Is there a training or guidance that you can provide?
That's where you talk to us. That's where we sit down with you. You talk about what your product is. We say, what are you doing right now alone? But then, like, where do you need help? And we'll assess with you in that moment, in that stage, and say, okay, it looks like you've gotten this, but we want to make sure we connect you to these resources. Have you spoken to this person? Have you spoken to that person? We've had many individuals that come to us that are kind of like in their beginning idea phase, that may not necessarily be in a space where they're ready to occupy a space,
Mhm.
but we do not turn them away. We still say, hey, here are some resources that we have inside of the space that we can connect you to. What is it that exactly that you're having challenges? And then here are some events that you need to be at that will definitely help you with those things. So e-commerce and friends is a really great place to come to network with not just other entrepreneurs that are e-commerce, but others who are looking to help entrepreneurs as well. So, and then Elevator Essentials is one of the programs that we use to kind of like target those building blocks of a business, like legal, fundraising, helping out with pitch, things
Mar-
like, huh?
Marketing.
Marketing, customer acquisition, things of that nature, personal branding. So that is where we are kind of set the stage and precedents to start working on those building blocks within our Elevator Essentials program.
That's great. Another question for you. Do you have any resources for young entrepreneurs that may be watching, or advice for young entrepreneurs, teenage entrepreneurs, for instance?
Um, my advice, let's see. If you are a teenage entrepreneur looking to jump into the e-commerce business, dive into the markets, all of them. Like, look up e-commerce, figure out the clothing markets, go through all the products and see what's happening. Um, there's a lot of competition out there. When you jump into the e-commerce industry, there's a lot of competition because you're not just competing with those who are in your local area. You're competing globally. You're competing with global brands. Someone else is probably selling the same product you're making. You got to figure out like what makes me different. So I think my biggest advice to someone who's just starting out, who has this idea, you're going to really have to dive deep into thinking about what makes you different, what makes the product that you're selling different. And then depending on what platform you are, depending on which type of e-commerce you're doing, will also have to determine, okay, I'm going to focus on the product, or am I going to focus on just marketing?
Mhm.
And depending on where you are in the e-commerce space will determine what's more important. So,
You know,
but number one is figuring out what makes you different.
I'm gonna make you go back just a little bit and break it down. There may be people watching us that don't know what e-commerce is. So would you explain what e-commerce is and give some examples of channels for e-commerce that are widely available for people to get started with?
Absolutely. So, e-commerce is products that are being sold online. You are Maybe you're creating that product, maybe you are just a distributor for the product, depending on what end, but it is products that are being sold on an online platform or website. Examples of e-commerce models would be the marketplace. I would consider the two that I'm about to talk about right now more so of your lifestyle e-commerce models. But are you selling in the marketplace, which is basically, it's a platform that items are where customers and the seller can exist together. So you can put on the marketplace, people can go on this particular website and buy, or people can go on this particular website and sell. An example of that would be Etsy. Etsy would be your marketplace. Handmaids. Handmade is either you're at a vendor show, you're at a craft show, and you're selling your physical goods and products that way. And then maybe you have some type of online platform where if you're not at a craft show, but if someone wants to get something from you, then you are doing, you are selling it to them through the website. But don't get fooled with a vendor, with the handmade e-commerce model. Someone can just do an order with you via DMs on Instagram and you ship it to them. You have a shipping component to e-commerce. Scalable e-commerce models would be more so of your drop shippers. So if you're a drop shipper, you're not touching the product. You're not making it. You're not touching it. You're more so pushing the marketing and the branding behind your business while someone else is fulfilling it for you. So that is another form of e-commerce. And then FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon. So this can be a hands-on or not hands-on. Mostly it's you're not hands-on with your product, but you can be. We have a member here that is FBA. and she's hands on with her products, and she's direct ships directly to Amazon with her products. So um, those are your different e-commerce models. But e-commerce is selling goods, products through an online platform that has a shipping component. I think you're muted, Corinne.
Thank you for breaking it down and giving those great examples so people can understand. Now, does it take a lot of money to start an e-commerce business?
It actually doesn't. It does not. Depending on your, but it depends on your product. What is the product that you're selling? For those who are more handmade, it may. So we've come across a lot of candle making businesses. So a lot of individuals who make candles. From my understanding, is not as expensive to make candles to start out with. However, as your business grows, it will then determine how expensive it gets because of supplies. Um, but it's not expensive to start. But if you're looking to grow it and scale it, it can get pricey. And you're going to have to start looking at different revenues on what's the best way that you want, which model of e-commerce you want to handle. So we have a member with us that they started out with the product on hand, but some entrepreneurs have full-time jobs and they just really don't have time to just really go through the fulfillment part of their on their own. So they once they sold out of their products that they had on hand, they then moved to drop shipping. So that is when you have a customer, you have the inventory on your website. You don't have any inventory on hand, so that you don't have to worry about the cost of an item being on your shelf, the shelf cost of an item long term. Um, but the drop shipper, someone orders off of your website, and then some other third party fulfills that order for you. So if it's a t-shirt, they print the t-shirt for you, box it up, ship it to that customer. That is an example of making the decision, okay, I can't afford to keep the product on hand, but it will be easier and cost me less money if I went through a drop shipper. So that's an example that we use.
That's awesome. Um, can you talk a little bit about the advantages or disadvantages of using e-commerce as a business model?
Time. Time. The advantages, I would say you're in a larger pool of competitors. So when you start an e-commerce business, you have to understand that, as I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of people doing what you're doing. Someone may be selling a similar product. So you have to differentiate like what makes your product different and I tell a lot of the entrepreneurs who are in e-commerce, it's all going to come down to your marketing and your customer experience. I can't express that enough. And then in the customer experience, you don't have a lot of face-to-face time with your customers. So if your customer is all the way on the other side of the country, you're here in Nebraska, you're not going to have that one-on-one time to really like show them what you're about, your personality. They're not going to get that feel. So you're going to have to find ways to really get up your marketing and your personal branding as well, and attracting people to you. Um,
When you say customer experience, you know, can you touch a little bit about like I mean, with all other things online, right? And I would say for me, the best customer experience I have is when I do Prime through Amazon.
less interaction as possible, right? Just give
Yeah.
me what I want on time.
I want it now. I want my product now. I don't have to go inside the store. That's one thing that I love. I don't want to go inside the store,
Right.
right? I don't enjoy going inside stores, especially when I have to walk around for an hour trying to locate something. I would rather go online and type it in, boom, it pops up. If I can get a couple of options to compare prices, great. Um, but I just want to click. and I want to get it within 2 days.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the things that Amazon, for instance, did very well,
Hmm.
you know, and so long as the box gets here, it's not damaged. If they bring it during business hours, even better. But that's all I ask. And don't pester me for with a lot of surveys afterwards. So to me, that's the perfect.
Making it easy to buy. That is an absolute great example of customer experience. Making sure that whatever platform you're selling off of, whether it is your own website, whether it's through a marketplace, making sure your products are easy to come by, buy, and then you have a good time. And if you know that your items are not going to ship next day, make sure that that is communicated somewhere, some way, shape, or form on your website. Another customer experience thing too is making sure your customer support is easy, making sure your
Yeah,
communication, making sure that if there is any challenges, you should be able to track and follow your products. You want to make sure that when the customer gets it, they open that box, they're satisfied. But if there just happen to be something wrong with their order, you should be able. There's your. I don't like to say the customer is always right, but your customer is always right, and it's up to you to make sure that you make the order right in some way, even if you know that they are wrong and you're right. Find a way to just still allow them, like, hey, yes, I didn't get my order in time, but you know what, they took the time to speak to me. They acknowledged that the order was late. They offered me something to make it right. Don't leave a bad taste in their mouth, even if they're leaving a bad taste in yours. You want to make sure that as an e-commerce business, people continue to come back to your page to give you another chance. And that's going to always be about how you handle that communication via email or phone call or chat, however your support system is set up.
absolutely. I agree. And, now that you touched on the three different ways of providing customer service, back in the days, it used to be a phone call, right? Or even going back to the store and saying, hey, your item broke down, you
Right.
know. But then it was phone call customer service. And it seems like that's becoming more and more rare these days to have.
I like chat. If you got chat, I like chat. On elevator site, we have a chat box, and you're talking to a human person. You're talking to myself. You're talking to our sales guy. Like, you're talking to an actual human being, and we respond quickly. Making sure, if you're gonna have that chat box, make sure somebody's on it. If you're gonna have that support email, make sure somebody's on it, and making sure you're going through it as often as possible. And then another thing is, you are not all of your departments. Stop trying to be your every department. If you can't do sales, marketing, all these things all at one time. But when you get yourself to a point where you can kind of like push off your duties part-time to someone, or you have a team of people who believe in what you're doing and they're offering their time for free to help you, like, try not to be all over every department of your business. You can't do that.
That is so true. That is so true. Another question that we had here is, what are some key metrics that a new e-commerce business owner should track, and how should they track it? Well, what advice do you have for them?
Customer acquisition. We call it CAC. It helps. It's called customer acquisition and lifetime value. These two particular metrics will describe how scalable you are. So this determines where you're going to go. If your customer, whatever your process is and your strategy for customer acquisition is, that customer acquisition is getting more customers, getting leads, following up on those leads, ensuring that you have repeat customers, turning your customers into evangelists. Those are, you want to see what those metrics are at all time, and they are going to help. And then figuring out what's the lifetime value of your product. What have you done your research on your particular product, and what does the market look like? What is the lifetime? What's the longevity? Other marketing would be your cost per click. This is going more so into your marketing metrics. Sorry. So your cost per click, your cost per impressions, website traffic, how are you drawing people to your website, and then conversion data. Like with everything that you're doing, whether it's posting ads, you're sending ads out. I don't know, maybe you're sending some text messages out through for your marketing. How are you getting people to see your business? So those are the four marketing and most important marketing metrics that you need to know. So those are cost per click, cost per impression, website traffic, and your conversion data.
Awesome. Thank you. One more question that we have here, you know, lately customer churn has been on the rise since we're talking about cost of acquisition per customer.
Yeah.
How do you boost repeat purchase rate and increase customer retention?
Customer service, customer service and experience. Churn, most churn is due to a customer's experience with you and your business. Um, going back to those customers that have bought from you one time, go back to those customers. Offer them something to return back to you, to come back to your website, to come back to you. Like, you're gonna always want to make sure those one time purchasers, those people that got upset with you, those are the people that you should be marketing to the most, and making happy, because people forget them. As entrepreneurs, we tend to forget them because we don't want to deal with oh, you said something bad about my product, or you spoke negative of my business. We have to get past that, because those are the people that, when you look at those metrics that I just talked about, are going to make the difference. So customer service and experience, and then automating your marketing strategies, finding new creative ways to market and brand. It goes back to what makes you different. Finding a new way to attract yourself. Sometimes it requires rebranding yourself. Maybe that just isn't working for your product. Maybe your product is not working for you. Maybe you need to you need to find somewhere else, a new product to take on, and move towards. But your customers know best. Your customers can tell if you're being transparent with your business. So I will also say, listen to those customers, listen to the feedback that they provide to you, take that, analyze it, and figure out how you can use that feedback, as to why they may have potentially left, to rebrand yourself, to make some type of change in marketing.
You are absolutely right. As we are getting near to the end of our time today, I wanted you to tell us again, how can our viewers be part of the pop-up business fair that you are about to have at the elevator?
Oh, so we have our hummingbirds, elevator time hummingbirds end of summer market. If you did not know, Hummingbirds is a influencer group that started in Des Moines, Iowa. They created a community here in Omaha, and they're a group of influencers that go around to businesses. The businesses give them a perk to basically promote their business. So we have collaborated with Emily Steele, who is the CEO of Hummingbirds, and to create a market here at Elevator. We are actually getting ready to close applications, but I have a few more spots available for vendors to come in and set up a table. We provide everything for you, and it's just $100 just to reserve a table space. It is on September 30th from 11 to 5. But if you would like to be a vendor at our market, please reach out to me, Nezzie at elevatorspaces.com. I am happy to help you, send you over the sign up form. And that way you can go ahead and submit payment, and we can get you out your instructions for next week.
Perfect. So you've heard her. Make sure you get in there and be part of it. And last but not least, how important is networking for e-commerce business owners or any business owners at all?
E-commerce and Friends is next Friday, September 29th, here at Elevator. We will be a part of Startup Omaha Week, and Emily Steele, the CEO and founder of Hummingbirds, is our speaker, and she's going to talk about the importance of having influencers help you with your e-commerce business. So networking is very vital. It's important. It's really it's important to your growth. It's you're not don't always be you're not going to be the smartest person in the room. So connect yourself with someone else who is smarter than you that can help you grow, and maybe you'll catch an idea that maybe you never thought about. So networking is extremely important to growing your business and also building an evangelist for your business. And you might find an investor. You never know.
Right, that's right. That's absolutely. Thank you so much, Nezzie, for being part of Power Hour with Mac. For all our viewers and people that are watching this later, please give them again the website for Elevator.
The website is www.elevatorspaces.com. If you are interested in getting space with us, please send us an email at hello@elevatorspaces.com, and we would love to give you a tour. If you're an organization that is interested in a tour, maybe for business meetings, please feel free to reach out to me as well. We love to host events. So if you just want to come and check us out, just hit us up at hello@elevatorspaces.com.
Thank you again, Nancy. It is such a pleasure to have you and the Elevator as members of the Midlands African Chamber, where we champion, support, and connect Black businesses. We invite all of you that are watching this to become part of MAC, continue supporting our programming, and be part of Power Hour again next time. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Bye, Nancy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Bye bye.